Hey everybody, and welcome to another, it's not quite a speed build, but it's a speed build. It's speed build in speed, but I am actually renovating an EA Starterhome. So this one is found in Willow Creek, and it is, honestly, I hate this house. I hate this house, how EA built it. So they put in that wall to make it like the kitchen a very closed off kitchen, and I don't like that. Number one. Number two, I did not keep that feature because when I shortened the house, it became like there was no real good place to put the living room. So I ended up moving the kitchen entirely, having like the right side of the house be the kitchen and the left side of the house be the living room. I totally had a mental blank there on like wow. Anyway, um I love when I'm doing something like this and I hear a noise because the dogs started licking something off the floor or something. Like, what did you get into? Now they're both over there behind my chair. Um Not important. Like, there's nothing back there they can get into, so that does any of your dogs do that? Where they fixate on something and it's like, what the heck is even there to fixate on? And you can hear Dax's jingling. Milo doesn't jingle, he has a harness. So no jangling for Milo. But yeah, they like fixate on something and it happens outside all the time, and I'm like, what in the world do you smell? And if I let them, they'll stand there and smell at this spot for like 10 minutes. Sometimes I let them smell, but other times like we've got places to be. So, yeah. And now I'm sitting on my couch doing this because I don't have like a dedicated space. But Dax is such a lap dog, and she just comes and she just cuddles by my feet. I love this little wiener dog. She's so cute. Anyway, how was everybody's day? Mine was good. Mine was quiet. I have a few days off and I don't know what to do with that. Like I took 5 days off from January to September to August. And so in September I started taking off all of this time because like I'm going to lose it if I don't use it. But in March it felt like a waste of my life, a waste of my PTO to just take it off and be home with my thoughts. I don't know about anybody else, but like I did not do good at adapting to life at home. I am very, very lucky. I can work from home. I am not concerned about my job or losing that. So I definitely am one of the lucky ones in this pandemic. But like making the switch from going into an office every day and being around people to I never leave at this point I have not left my house, really. I haven't started my car in 3 weeks. I need to go do that. And like that is just such a huge change that I wasn't necessarily prepared for. So yeah, in March I like broke. I don't know how anybody else survived, but I broke, personally speaking. My goodness. Well, because okay, so part of the reason I ended up getting like severe anxiety is because I have a lot of family that work in healthcare. My stepsister's a nurse. My cousin is a nurse in New York, like in the epicenter in March. My mom and my aunts, they all work in some form of nursing home, hospital situation. Like, everybody I know is in some sort of situation where they could not work from home and they had to keep like putting themselves at risk, especially when you don't know enough about what's going to keep you safe. So like it was anxiety inducing. And yeah, so like I did not do well in March. To the point where I didn't do something at work that like a couple months later, my boss was like, "Hey, did you see this come through?" And I'm like, "I did, but I wasn't in a mental space to like handle any more change." Like it was a positive thing, don't get me wrong. And she's like, "Well, you should apply now." And I'm like, "Okay," because in May I was a lot better able to cope thanks to anti-anxiety medication. So I was good at that point. But like just the idea of like, oh my goodness, maybe potentially switching job roles within my company and things like that. So yeah, I don't really know how I got on this topic. Anyway, my my mother, who works in a nursing home, was exposed to COVID, unfortunately. And yeah, I was a wreck for like the week until we got our test results back. Because it took her a few days to be able to like get tested. And on top of that, she started to be, she started like sniffling. And so the one place she wanted to go to would only take people who were completely asymptomatic. Her test results came back negative, thankfully. And she's not completely out of the woods because, you know, that only really means that you don't have enough virus in you at the point of taking the test. But I'm fairly confident at this point that she's fine. Because the bigger issue isn't my mother, who is 55? She's something. No, she's going to be 57. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Anyway, like, yes, I'm concerned for her, but she lives in a house with my 82-year-old grandmother. And that is a concern. My grandma actually spent March through July? March through August? Something like that. In Florida. And Florida was a lot better than Connecticut. In the spring. And so she somehow like pulled off this miracle of safety. So I'm hoping that continues because yeah, like my distant family dropped like flies for a while. And I just hope it doesn't come closer, you know? Keep it distant. But a lot of people are dying, which is, I'm scared. I don't know about any of you. I am scared. But I also sit on my throne of privilege because I can work from home and not leave my house. So I have the greatest of thankfulness. I know that didn't really make sense, but I am very, very thankful for the people who are frontline workers, like nurses and doctors, and they're pulling it together somehow, and I don't know how. So, if any of you are nurses or doctors or hell, grocery store workers, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. Anyway, I have rambled a lot about absolutely nothing. So I hope you enjoyed my rambling. This video is actually because it didn't take me as long as some of the other builds that I've put on my channel. It was a little bit slower, so I'm hoping that you enjoyed that. So here are the screenshots, and I am going to stop talking now. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell. And if you've made it this far in the video, can you please put a comment down below, just an emoji that represents the holiday that you celebrate most in a year, whatever that may be, if it's Easter, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Ramadan, whatever it may be. I'm very interested in seeing what everybody puts. So thank you so much, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye, everybody.